Every year, millions of people suffer from foodborne illnesses. In the United States alone, about 48 million cases of food poisoning are reported each year. More than 3,000 of those cases tragically result in death. What makes this even more alarming is that older adults are especially vulnerable. As we age, our immune systems tend to weaken, making it harder to fight off harmful bacteria and toxins that can make us sick. According to the CDC, seniors face a much higher risk of complications from foodborne illnesses than younger adults. But here's something that might surprise you. One of the biggest sources of food-related dangers might not be the food itself. It could be your refrigerator. The very appliance you rely on to keep your food safe could actually be contributing to nutrient loss, toxic chemical formation, and even bacterial growth, simply because certain foods should never be stored in cold conditions. Many everyday kitchen staples actually deteriorate when stored in the refrigerator. Their flavors change, their nutrients diminish, and in some cases, harmful substances can form. In this video, you will learn about 9 common foods you should never keep in your refrigerator. I will also share safer ways to store them so you can protect your health and enjoy your food at its best. Before we get started, I invite you to subscribe to this channel. We regularly share valuable tips on health, nutrition, and smart living, especially for older adults. Also, tell us in the comments where you are watching from. It is always great to see how far our community reaches. Let us begin. The first item on the list is one you probably have in your kitchen right now: potatoes. Potatoes are a staple in many households, and they are often tossed into the fridge without a second thought. However, storing raw potatoes in cold conditions can actually turn them into a potential health hazard. When potatoes are chilled, their starches rapidly convert to sugars. That might not sound concerning at first, but when these sugar-loaded potatoes are later cooked at high temperatures, a chemical reaction occurs. The sugars interact with amino acids to form acrylamide, a substance that has been linked to cancer in animal studies and is currently being investigated for its impact on human health. Beyond this chemical risk, refrigerated potatoes also undergo undesirable changes in texture and flavor. You may have noticed that sometimes roasted or baked potatoes taste oddly sweet or have a grainy, mushy texture. That is the result of improper cold storage. The solution is simple. Store potatoes in a cool, dry, dark place, such as a pantry or cellar. Avoid exposure to moisture or direct sunlight. This will help preserve their firmness, flavor, and safety for cooking. Now let us move to our second food item: bread. Many people assume that refrigerating bread will help it stay fresh longer. Unfortunately, that is a myth. When bread is placed in the refrigerator, the starch molecules inside begin to crystallize rapidly. This process, known as retrogradation, causes the bread to become dry, tough, and crumbly, much faster than it would at room temperature. Even more concerning, the moist environment of a refrigerator can actually encourage the growth of mold on bread. Mold spores thrive when bread is exposed to temperature changes and moisture, especially when it is repeatedly taken in and out of the fridge. For seniors with compromised immune systems, consuming mold-contaminated bread can pose serious health risks, including allergic reactions and mycotoxin exposure. To keep your bread fresh longer, the best option is to freeze it. Slice the loaf ahead of time and store the slices in an airtight freezer bag. You can then toast individual slices as needed without compromising the bread's texture or flavor. Our third item is another kitchen staple: onions. Whole onions should never be kept in the refrigerator. The cold environment causes onions to absorb moisture, which leads to a soft, mushy texture and encourages mold growth. In addition, onions naturally release sulfur compounds. When stored in the fridge, these compounds can cause strong odors to spread to other foods, such as butter or fruit. Have you ever noticed an odd taste in other items in your refrigerator? your onions might be to blame. Even more concerning is the risk of bacterial contamination. Once an onion is sliced and placed in the fridge, it becomes highly susceptible to bacterial growth, especially if it is not stored in a tightly sealed container. The best way to store whole onions is in a cool, dry, well-ventilated space, such as a pantry. If you must store a cut onion, always use an airtight container and consume it within a day or two. Moving on to number 4, tomatoes. This is one of the most misunderstood foods when it comes to storage. Many people refrigerate tomatoes in an attempt to preserve freshness, but doing so actually ruins both their flavor and texture. Tomatoes are tropical fruits, and cold temperatures interfere with their natural ripening enzymes. When stored in the fridge, tomatoes fail to ripen properly, leaving them bland and watery. Additionally, refrigeration causes tomatoes to lose their firm, juicy texture and depletes their vitamin C content, one of their key health benefits. Instead, store tomatoes at room temperature away from direct sunlight. If they become too ripe, use them quickly in sauces or cooked dishes rather than letting them spoil in the refrigerator. Next up, garlic. Garlic is a nutritional powerhouse, known for its ability to support the immune system and lower blood pressure. But refrigerating garlic can strip away many of its valuable health properties. Cold and moist conditions in the refrigerator cause garlic to sprout prematurely. Sprouted garlic loses much of its flavor and nutritional value. Even worse, if garlic is stored in oil in the refrigerator, it can become a breeding ground for Clostridium botulinum, the bacteria that causes botulism, a potentially deadly illness. To store garlic safely, keep whole bulbs in a mesh bag or open basket in a cool, dry, and well-ventilated place. Use chopped garlic immediately or store it briefly in vinegar or lemon juice to prevent bacterial growth. Our 6th food is coffee, both beans and ground coffee. Coffee is highly sensitive to moisture, light, and surrounding odors. Placing it in the refrigerator may seem like a good way to preserve freshness, but it actually causes more harm than good. Coffee absorbs moisture and surrounding scents like a sponge, which can ruin its flavor profile. Additionally, the frequent opening and closing of the refrigerator door causes condensation to form on the beans or grounds, accelerating staleness and increasing the risk of mold. For best results, store your coffee in an opaque, airtight container in a cool, dark cupboard. This will help preserve its rich flavor and valuable antioxidants. Our 7th item is honey. You might think the fridge is the perfect place to store honey, but it is not. In fact, refrigeration causes honey to crystallize rapidly, making it hard and grainy. More importantly, refrigeration can introduce moisture into the honey, which can lead to fermentation and spoilage. This not only alters the flavor, but also reduces the antibacterial properties that make honey so beneficial. The best way to store honey is in a tightly sealed jar at room temperature, away from sunlight and heat sources. Properly stored, honey can remain safe and delicious for many years. Number 8 on our list is bananas. Bananas are tropical fruits and are not designed to handle cold temperatures. When placed in the refrigerator, especially before they are fully ripe, the ripening process stops. This leaves the fruit hard, flavorless, and unappealing. The cold also causes the skin to turn dark prematurely, and the fruit can develop an unpleasant, mushy texture. Additionally, refrigeration reduces the levels of beneficial antioxidants in bananas, which are particularly important for supporting healthy brain function and protecting against cellular damage as we age. To preserve both taste and nutrients, store bananas at room temperature. If you have ripe bananas you cannot eat in time, peel them and freeze them for use in smoothies or baking. Finally, let's talk about olive oil. Olive oil is a valuable source of heart-healthy fats and powerful antioxidants, but storing it in the fridge can degrade its quality. In cold conditions, olive oil solidifies and forms crystals. More concerning is the fact that moving it repeatedly between cold and warm environments can cause oxidation, producing harmful free radicals and diminishing the oil's health benefits. For safe storage, keep olive oil in a dark glass bottle or metal container in a cool, dark cupboard, away from heat sources and sunlight. Properly stored, high-quality olive oil can retain its flavor and health benefits for up to 2 years after bottling. To summarize, potatoes, onions, tomatoes, garlic, coffee, honey, bread, bananas, and olive oil should not be stored in the refrigerator. Understanding the proper storage methods for these foods will help you protect your health, preserve flavor, and reduce waste. Now it is your turn. Were you surprised by any of the items on this list? Have you been storing any of these foods in the fridge without realizing the risks? Tell us in the comments below what you will be doing differently starting today. Your insights and questions are always welcome. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. We look forward to bringing you more valuable tips to help you stay healthy and thrive at any age. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself, and we will see you in the next video.